Okay. Hello. I was figuring things out, but I think things got figured out. Let me know how I'm looking. Let me know how I'm sounding. Ooh, I didn't mean for that to be playing. I need to set something up first, and then we're gonna start, okay? I should have prepared a little better before this. Betrayal, SSSSSSS tier, that's true, but also, no spoilers. We're going to be talking about that a little later. How are you guys? It's Tosha. He's the #1 Betrayal fan in the world. Kratos is here. Hello. Nice to see you. Hey, Mid. Hi. Yourself. Give me a minute here. And I'm going to do the thing. I'm sorry it's been a while. Doesn't matter. I'm back. I will try and do streams a little more regularly. Every Saturday. I have an idea for next stream next week. And hopefully it'll be fun. Because if it's not fun, then what is the point, you know? Much love, Midgard. Thank you very much. Thank you for being a member for a long, long time. I appreciate that. Why is brother's name Shake Shack? Oh, wow. That's a little rude. I'm not gonna comment on that. Okay, I'm almost set up here. Almost. Okay. I think we are almost ready. Almost. Okay. Daniel, thank you so much for being here. 9 months. That's a long time. I didn't know I had memberships for that long. How much money for me to start at OnlyFans? Okay. I'll think about it. We've had this discussion before. It's not the first time. Okay. No one told me if the sound is good or anything. I hope we're okay. And now we're going to slowly transition into, if things work right, into this. Let's see how it looks on stream. 1 second. I'm doing this in Photoshop because it's easier and I can enlarge things. It's working. Wow. That is truly magical. Okay. This is a cover art list, tier list. I'm sure you know how tier lists work. I hope I don't have to explain anything to you. Not a games list. It might look like a games list. It's not. It's completely different. We're going to be judging this based on how I feel, how well the cover art represents the game, whether it just looks good to me subjectively as a piece of art that is supposed to be representing and selling a video game to me. Nick streaming. Who's Nick? In Midgard tonight. Looking for you to start up a fight. I was going to say something. Yeah. So basically, I don't think there are any F tier worthy box arts out there. I think they're all pretty good. At least some are amazing. S tier, it's like, for me, S tier is a work of art. Like an S tier cover art deserves to be hung on a wall in a museum. Uh, that's like the parameter, and everything else obviously is very good. B is pretty good, and so on, so on. I don't think I have to be explaining. Ascension's cover was dope, though. We will get to that. Nice to see you, Jack Black. I'm looking forward to Kung Fu Panda 4 in cinemas out now. I'm reading comments in a language I don't understand, and I'm scared to read it because it's gonna might be something bad. Anyway, let's. I'm wasting too much time. God of War 1, the one that started it all. This one, let me enlarge in this a little bit. That's why we're in Photoshop after all, so we can. Oh no, it's not showing it. Anyway, what do we think about this? This is very interesting to me because this is the thing for a lot of people. This is their first exposure to Kratos, right? So a lot of people may have come into a video game store and see this, and this is their very first exposure to Kratos. And I feel like this cover art specifically is trying really hard to show what kind of character Kratos is. We got his very beastly nature. We got, of course, the blades on full display here, full of blood, so we understand exactly what is going on here. S tier, he says. Interesting. Dante is the chat as well. Only left is Zesty now. Good day, mid people. Dante, thank you very much for being here. God of War 1 cover is iconic, but does it mean good though? That's my point. What's always been... I think people are trying to enter my apartment. That's scary. Okay. I don't want that to happen on stream. Anyway, it's Olympus in the background. Why is it... I mean, I understand that they're trying to show Greek architecture, but why is it Olympus specifically from the end of the game, where this is pretty much the only God of War game where Kratos is not... where Kratos is on the side of Olympus. I feel like having Athens or Pandora's Temple would have been a little better to showcase what the game is about. And generally, I feel like it kind of lacks... I don't love it. I don't love this. It's cool, but it's kind of... it's just... he's there, right? I feel like there are better ones out there. That's a spoiler alert. Maybe a B. It says XT hints, and isn't the way tier list works is that the first should be a B tier and the rest compared to it? I mean, it's kind of different here, but I am going to probably my first hot take of the day, and I think it's a B tier. It's not fantastic. It's good. It does its job, but I feel like other covers kind of take similar ideas and they build upon them. And I think, honestly, Dante, like you said, it's a good mediator. In a sense, we're going to be comparing everything coming after to it. Obviously, some covers are going to be trying to do different things. And let's see if people are mad at me for this. I want to try and... how do I make this bigger? Okay, here we go. Not the worst and not the best. I agree with that completely. I think, yeah, that's that. This one, though, we're doing regional covers as well. This is the European cover for God of War 1. I don't know why they did that for a while. And typical mid lasagna L. Yeah, I know. It's classic. This one, I much prefer this one. This one is awesome. First of all, I feel like it much better shows what the games are about, fighting things. There's a horde of the undead, which is a very real thing that is going on a lot. Obviously, it shows the Greek aspect of it with the ruins. I think it still manages to show Kratos' ferocity. We got a little bit of blade action over there. And of course, the Medusa thing I love because it's meant to be a really it was one of the main inspirations for God of War by David Jaffe when he saw Clash of the Titans in 1981, and he said this is awesome. And then decades later, he's like, I have this idea. Ooh, my cat is about to enter the stream, and I don't want her to mess things up. Okay, and this mechanic basically from Clash of the Titans is one of the first inspirations for Jaffe to make a Greek mythology game. So it's very cool that this is on display here, and I think it's a very this is not good. Okay. And it's just more energetic, and I think it does its job better. So cat reveal? No. Was she in frame? I can't really see. B, he says. I don't agree with that. I would say this one is better than the regular cover. I think it's more fun. I think it's more exciting. It's a little better at portraying what the game is about. I'm gonna put an A. I kind of wish this was the main cover. That's what I'm gonna say. Okay. What is chat thinking about this? Do you guys think this is better than the regular cover? It shows more of God of War 1 than the other one, that's for sure. Yeah, that's exactly my point. And I would be honest, I think a lot of covers don't really show what God of War is about as much as I would like them to, but that's a very subjective opinion. The Medusa head screams Greek stuff here. Yeah, the Medusa and obviously the Parthenon-looking buildings, which are not entirely present in the game, but whatever. Okay. Never knew that cover existed. Yeah, there's a lot of variant covers, and we have more stuff to talk about, which is good. Much better than, yeah. Okay, let's move on to God of War 2. Okay, I couldn't find like pure pictures of everything, but obviously this is good enough. I think it does the job. Okay, I feel like the composition of this is much better. Him standing facing away from us is much more badass. At this point, we kind of know what the deal is with Kratos. Obviously, the blades are on fire. He's ready to go. And I just feel this is more iconic. This just screams determination to me, and this is what Kratos is all about in God of War 2. The location, though, is very interesting. I was thinking about this the other day. It's from my memory, it's after the Atlas section, after you cross the chasm. This is like the pre Fates Temple area. Why is this area specifically chosen to be on the cover? I'm not sure. I would honestly have preferred if the Spire of the Fates was there, but it might be because if I remember correctly, this is supposed to be Zeus, so Olympians, and this is supposed to be Kronos, right? Because they both try to win over the Fates, and I guess the gods, and Zeus specifically, and the Titans, Gaia specifically, play a pretty important role in the game. And that might be why they chose this part specifically. But unfortunately, I don't feel like it's particularly exciting, this location. I think God of War 2 has the best art direction and locations in the series. And this is undoubtedly Greek, but I don't know if you guys think there is better options for the location. What do you guys think about this one? A little repetitive. Seems too similar to original God of War 1. We're going to get back to that. I think it's differentiated enough. I think it's more iconic, I would argue, than God of War 1. Dante says, for me, this is the God of War 1 cover, but worse. It doesn't show the brutality nor the Greek architectures. I mean, you can see the columns and whatnot. Yeah, I suppose it doesn't show the Greekness of it, but I am willing to guess that I think at this point, Kratos and God of War has become slightly more iconic. So the idea is that they kind of know what this is. The players knows what they're getting into basically with this. I think they chose a weird location, but the pose is iconic. The pose is definitely iconic. The one would look cool. 3, but with Mount Olympus instead. We'll get to 3 in a minute. That one's going to be interesting. They did because it's 2 pillars looking like the title. That actually might be it. I mean, it's very. This one is very symmetrical. Ooh, I had the microphone. I'm very sorry. Kratos right in the middle. We got 2 columns, 2 statues. I mean, that's it's just aesthetically more pleasing. They could have chosen the Sisters Temple, but we see through the entire game. That's exactly what I'm saying. I think the Phoenix statue thing that you see in the distance the entire game, I think that would have been pretty good. And also, I forgot to post on Twitter that I'm live, so I'm going to do that this very second. Okay. It's kind of tough picking your favorite child. I like it, but because it's like Kratos about to face his fate or something bigger, giant statues gives it that aurora. I think you mean aura. Makes any sense? Yeah, it makes sense. Definitely. I feel like they could have picked a grander structure in here. I just think it's too similar. It doesn't do it as good as God of War 1. Fair enough. I prefer this to God of War 1, the original one. I like the composition. I think the pose is iconic. I'm going to put this in A tier. It's definitely a legendary cover art, and obviously we're going to get to Valhalla in a minute, but that replicates it. So I enjoyed this one. It's not amazing. It's not breathtaking, but I think it just feels better to me personally. I like it. Is it better than this one, though? No, it is not. I feel like the European God of War 1 is awesome. Now we get to this, okay? This is the European cover for God of War 2, and is just God of War 1's cover again. Which is boring. I understand that it's an iconic pose. When I was researching this, even Chains of Olympus has a promo with Kratos facing like this. And it's European, so Europeans got this one, the cool one, so they get the lame one for God of War 2. It's not... Honestly, I think it's better than God of War 1's. Just purely aesthetically, it's very similar, obviously, but you get the same temple with Zeus and Kronos. You get the whirlwind. You see the spire in the background of the whirlwind that I guess Zeus created. We see it like very prominently when we are riding the Pegasus at the start of the game. And of course we have Atlas's hand, which is a pretty neat little hint towards what's happening in the game. What did people think about this? Just passing by, I'll watch the whole thing when it's over. Thank you, Mustafa. See, now the 2 doesn't really perfectly with the 2 pillars and the blade. Yeah, it doesn't. That's true. Honestly, it's funny because I was gonna give this points off for repetition, but the more I look at it, I think it's cooler than God of War 1's original cover. If we look at that side to side for a second, I feel like I mean, they're very similar. But the atmosphere of God of War 2's, the hints towards what's going on, it's in an appropriate location because Kratos is seeking the fates, and the Atlas hand is a pretty awesome thing that I don't really pay attention to enough when I look at this. The US God of War 1 and the EU God of War 1 reminds me of the similarity between God of War 4 and Ragnarok cover. The same but in different location. Yeah, I wouldn't say God of War 2018 and Ragnarok covers are. I think they're a little more different. We'll get to that a little later. The color and the art is overall better. I think the God of War 2 one, the color is a little off. The one that I found, it's not as. I think the contrast is a little messed up, but yeah, I think the lighting is cooler in this one. Of course, you get the dark arrows and the hint of Zeus, the hint of the Fates. Honestly, the hand is way too small. It's just a nitpick. Yeah, that's true, but otherwise, I don't think you would even understand what he's standing on. But honestly, I like this more than God of War 1. It's still, I would say, B tier for, you know, actually, I'm going to bump it up to A. I think the environment is cooler than the main God of War 2 cover. I think it's better at showing the environments and showcasing things that are going on in the game, and I think that's important for God of War. The pose repetitive, but you know it's fine. I warm the EU cover for God of War 2 won me over, so I'm gonna throw it. I don't know. It's tough. I think I'm actually. It's a very high B. I don't feel comfortable putting it in A. It doesn't. It's not that good. So I think I'm gonna put it above God of War 1's, but I like the OG God of War 2 cover slightly more thanks to the composition of it. As much as I dislike God of War 3 cover, at least they didn't give us another Kratos back shot. I love Kratos back shots. Doesn't everyone love Kratos back shots? We'll get to 3. Hey, the Peak Man, Sleepy Killer, thank you very much for being here. Currently at the flea market watching the stream with the family, good vibes. Thank you for hanging out, and say hello to your mom for me. Raggy cover is meant to show Midgard after Thor 1. Okay, we'll get to Ragnarok. We're a long way away from that. Okay. God of War 2 is over. Now it's Oh, this is not the right one. Spoilers. Chains of Olympus. Another Kratos backshot. We love our Kratos backshots. I'm not sure about this. I like this. But my question has always been, what are these gates? So I'm assuming he's intended to be in Hades, obviously, but I don't recall these gates anywhere in the game. I know you enter through some kind of gate before you get to Charon, but this doesn't. Where is this in the game, right? This doesn't. I don't really understand anything that's going on about what this game is about, really. I mean, honestly, you can't tell much from any of them. But I do have to say that I do like his pose in this. It's interesting that they have the God of War 1 tattoo here, even though he doesn't have it in the game or in God of War 2. That's a fascinating little thing there. Not really relevant, but still. What are we thinking about this? It doesn't differentiate it much from the rest, and it doesn't. I would say it doesn't even have what the EU, the European God of War 2 cover has going for it, which is the environment and kind of showcasing what's awesome about this. There's no spire, no nothing about Atlas, nothing about Helios or Morpheus, nothing about the Temple of Helios. It's just a gate. It's just a generic gate that's not really relevant to the game very much at all. Man, the stream made me realize how mediocre most of God of War's covers are. Well, at least they're far too simple, if that's the right word. That's exactly what I've been thinking preparing for this. It's kind of interesting. C tier, says Daniel. And honestly, I tend to agree. There really isn't much to talk about here. I mean, it's supposed to be a PSP God of War game. It's supposed to say it's exactly what you expect from God of War, but it's on PSP, and that's exactly what Chains of Olympus was. And fair enough, but It's pretty boring. There isn't really not much going on here. It's pretty beautiful. I would say the lighting I enjoy a lot on this one. But that's not enough to have it anywhere above C tier, I would argue. Okay. Anyone object? Most of them are too repetitive. God of War 3 is the most different, but it's still as able. And Norse games are just Marvel movie posters. Okay. We're jumping ahead a lot with these, but yeah, that's okay. Dimitri's here. Hello, Dimitri. Nostalgia aside, this is my first game. Nice. I love it, especially when you know the story. It's like this tired and exhausted man looking at the bright sky. It's like he has a bit of hope. Interesting. That's an interesting interpretation considering what the game is about. But is that even this? I honestly can't even tell if this is Hades or not. Because if it's Hades, he can't look at the sky because it's land. But like you see the clouds and everything, so it's just kind of a generic gate. I don't know if is he looking at the sun because Helios returned. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna move forward to this, the European cover for God of War Chains of Olympus. And well, where do we start with this? First of all, you can actually see the Pillar of the World, which is at least it's something you can recognize from the game, which is appreciated, and it is the primary location of the game, which is good. So this time around, Kratos is finally facing us. He's not doing a back shot anymore. I mean, he looks pissed as hell, and yeah, that's Kratos. But I'm gonna go pray when I'm back. Betrayal beating on S, and I need to see Kratos back shots all over the screen. There's so many Kratos back shots. Actually, after this, I think it's kind of over for back shots, mostly, honestly. But in fact, simplicity is better. Okay. First time I call something mid and not you. Looks photoshopped. It is. They're all photoshopped. This is I would say it's kind of the composition. It's kind of weird. I don't really like this. I like this even less than anything else. It's trying something different from all the other covers before this, which I appreciate. But other than that, it's just Kratos, and there is a location in the background again. He's supposed to be facing the other way because that's where he's supposed to be going. But I don't have any strong feelings about this. I think the internet butchered the meaning of mid. I'm mid. I'm the definition of mid. Thank you very much. Kratos looks a bit off. I think something needs to belong in the D tier since we have it, and I'm willing to throw this in there because it's just a little like it's whatever. I mean, again, it shows Kratos. Yeah, it is Kratos. That's good, but other than that, it's just not museum worthy by any means. It's the opposite of that. None of these have been museum worthy yet. None of these are paintings I want to see in the Louvre next to the Mona Lisa, right? Damn, that jawline can cut diamonds. Yes, it can and always could. It's a cliche at this point. Lucia Heidi. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's what we're doing with this. Okay, now, that's the same one. No, that's not what I was looking for. I'm looking for this. I'm looking for God of War Betrayal. Because why the hell not? Okay, let's see what's going on here. We got a render of Kratos from God of War 1. That's the cutscene version. More action in this particular version of Kratos than any of these covers except for the European God of War 1 version. So he's actually like, he's going. There's like some interesting fires. I never really paid much attention to this before. Some interesting fires, pretty like abstract. Obviously doesn't show much of a location because they wouldn't want to render anything from the game because it's just basically a Greek background. The title is pretty funny because it's just a gradient and it's kind of blurry. think I checked, and I think that's how it actually looks. Which is it's. I mean, it's funny that how different it is from the normal one, but I have to say, it's not, it's a meme obviously, but it's not that bad. It kind of does its job. Uh, Hello, mid and chat. Ryul, thank you very much for being here. Uh, I would put in an A tier. He is at least running and not showing his back. I don't disagree with that. D, wow. Oh no, that was that for the other one. I don't know. Not even trying. I mean, it's for a mobile game. Like, realize that most people who would see this would see it on a phone like this big, like a Nokia or something back in 2008. I mean, honestly, it says God of War. It shows Kratos. They bothered to render him in the cutscene version and not just like a in-game version or the pixelated version that we actually get in the game. Okay, I'm gonna read that a little later. Remember that this is for mobile S tier. This is genuinely, I would, I honestly am willing to put it in low A tier. This is not bad at all. It's not. It's like, obviously the location part is missing, but I like the abstract aspect of it. It's kind of, the fires kind of make me think of the intro to God of War 1, the main menu, which is iconic, and it kind of reflects that kind of slightly. And I like Kratos's pose in this. I like the action. He's not standing, he's actually running. He's doing something, which is unusual for a God of War game cover, surprisingly. I think this is honestly, A is a little too much, so I think I'm gonna put it in. No, you know what? I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put it above God of War 1's cover, and I'm gonna put it below this one because I really do like the environment in the European God of War 2's cover. Okay, someone wrote something kind of unrelated, but did you know the director of Betrayal revealed that it was supposed to be a series of mobile games that got canceled? I did, yes, like Demus and Calliope QT. I did know that. I saw that recently, and I was pretty shocked, honestly. And he also said that there was going to be a Karen's Bolt mission in Hades, but they just took that and used it in Chains of Olympus, which makes me question things, which is fascinating. Kratos running towards you has got to be terrifying. Have to put in an A tier. How are you today? I am good. I'm doing this. I'm enjoying time with chat, and I appreciate you guys doing here and having this silly little discussion. Look like a frame from a random CG scene. Yeah, it is. It is the CG Kratos from God of War 1. Even more than God of War 1? Yeah, I know you're surprised. I mean, God of War 1, it's the, people are talking about the definition of mid. I think God of War 1 is the litmus test for the rest of them. It is the mid one, I think, of the bunch. And some do it better, some do it worse, but we'll see how we fare. Okay. There's some stuff going on in the chat right now. Just dropped in to say hi. I'm on a birthday right now, so I can watch the stream. Gypsy, thank you very much for being here. Happy birthday to whoever's doing it. Enjoy your cake. Don't drink too much. And drink water and stay hydrated. Daniel wants to kiss Gypsy. That's just normal behavior for these people. Someone deleted something. Okay, we're moving on to one of the most interesting, I would argue, discussions. And that is, I need to delete this because we already did that one. Here it is. God of War 3. I'm going to wait a minute for chat to talk about what they think about this, because I would argue and think that this is a love it or hate it kind of cover, and I want to see what the chat feels about it, and then I'm going to talk about what I feel about it. Dante says, you know what I hate about this one? You can put as the cover any God of War and it won't change anything. Interesting. But Triple S, God of War 3 S, tier. Remember, this is a cover art tier list, not a game tier list. Okay, just saying. This one is basic in a boring way. Yeah, see, I expected. Peak. See, it is a love it or hate it one. People, obviously, it's hard to differentiate the cover from the game. Obviously, God of War 3 is one of the most beloved God of War games, so this cover is obviously associated with this experience, and I understand why people like this one so much, but I also understand why people say it's boring and dull and repetitive, which some people, not repetitive, but not indicative of what the game is about. C tier, says Dmitry. Interesting. S tier. It's simple, but it shows you how terrifying Kratos looks and how determined he is to finish his vengeance. Or A tier, if you mean that. Okay. Yeah, pretty much what I expected. Some people don't like it. Some people love it. What I'm gonna say is, on one hand, I understand why they did this. This is such a flex, I would say, to put just an eye on the cover and say, yeah, bitch, you know exactly what this is. You know exactly who this is. You see the ashen skin, you see the red tattoo. Obviously, the title is there, but still, you know exactly what this character is at this point. Like, Kratos was so iconic at that rate that just an eye being angry tells you exactly what this is. That's a flex. I'm not gonna lie. On the other hand, I feel like this is a missed opportunity to do some crazy stuff. Like, we're talking about how repetitive things are. Imagine, like, this is what God of War 3's cover should have been like, but instead of just regular happy Olympus, we have the rain and the destruction, and we see the Titans in the background climbing Mount Olympus, and we have the whatever rotunda of Olympus, whatever it's called, at the top, and there's actually a frame at the start of the game when the claw of the hippocampus comes up, and Kratos in a similar position, and that just made me think that was the time to show like the insanity of war in this game. This cover, like some said, does not reflect that at all. And I think that would have been the prime opportunity to use the environments that they set up, pay like, God of War 2 ended with a cliffhanger, show the war between the Titans and the gods in the background, pure chaos. That's what this game is, right? There will be only chaos, right? That's what the game is about. This is not chaos. This is just an eye. I'm babbling a lot, but I am gonna say I don't hate it, but I feel like there's wasted potential in this. Let's see. To me, it's a B tier. It's an art box. Where the creativity at? Crying emoji. Yeah, doesn't look intimidating at all. Just don't talk about it when it becomes easier. Okay, people are talking about challenge runs. This is because I put it in A tier because they couldn't do it better. They can. Imagine the creative climbing Mount Olympus. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. They could have gone insane with Kratos and the Titans climbing. Yeah, there is. I was thinking of making a fan art of what I think it would have been like. But this is what we got. It's iconic in its own way. But I think this is not the right game to use this cover for. I understand that Kratos is iconic. But like people have said, I think there's wasted potential here. I'm going to put this in low B tier. I'm kind of indifferent here to it. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It is what it is. It's at least it's something novel for God of War covers, right? It's not another backshot of a random location where nothing is happening. It's its own thing. It stands out among them. You know exactly what it is, which is, I would say it's, I would argue it's good. If you like combine, like you may confuse God of War 2 and God of War 1 if you looked at them without the logos, which is not good. This one, you know exactly what it is, but at the same time, I wish it was I wish it was slightly like this, but show the chaos, the destruction, and the war of this game, because that's all this game is. I forgot that this game released on the PS3 first. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like it. It looks insane. Could have been good, for example, maybe God of War. Hello, guys. Hello, Resurrection Chamber. That's a great name. Zesty is at your door, sir. Well, he's not here, is he? Where is Zesty? He's not here. Whatever. I'm outside. I'll watch later. He's talking about nonsense. It's different, but in a boring way. Yeah. Can you do the order of playing God of War series? I would argue you should play or watch everything in release order, because the context is only of what came before and not what comes forward. So that concerns both story and mechanics. So I don't, if we're talking about the order in which play the God of War games, I would argue play them in release order. If that was your question, because I may have misunderstood. All right, moving on. Sorry. Next is Ghost of Sparta. And this one, I like it a lot. I like this one very much. It's, again, it doesn't, first of all, not a back shot. It's, he's actually facing us for once, but it's much better composed in, like, in terms of composition than this one, where it's just his stupid face. This one is, you know, not it. Sorry. This one, first of all, the colors, like, it looks like a painting a little bit, which moves it towards a work of art, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't have to be a painting, obviously, but it looks like that. The location, again, pretty generic. Oh, no, I'm looking at it and now I'm seeing that Thera is erupting. I never kind of paid attention to that, and that is actually, that's what the game is about. He just didn't care. He just, the Thera is erupting, and that's Heraklion, I suppose. I love that the tattoo is highlighted. First of all, because it looks badass, and second, because obviously this game is about Deimos, and Deimos is what the tattoo is made, what's the term? In tribute to. The lighting, really good. Just the silhouette of Kratos, legendary. It's not, it doesn't do anything novel. It doesn't do anything crazy. But it just looks good. It just looks aesthetically more pleasing than most other covers to me so far. What are people saying? Backshot. Resurrection Chamber, you're late. I really like how the red his tattoos are. Yeah, meteorites in the background falling, cool too. A tier. Okay. This would be a better God of War 3 cover than the one we got, because it looks like Fear Kratos. Interesting. That's an interesting observation. Yeah, the black and the red glowing tattoo, definitely an iconic image for Kratos, even regular Kratos, not necessarily Fear Kratos. Those abs can grill a cheese sandwich. Yes, you can cut the bread with the jawline and then grate the cheese with the abs. Putting more thought on the covers than Santa Monica themselves. Yeah, well, listen, what do I know about marketing? Statuesque style. Yeah, that is a good way to put it. It is, really using Kratos' iconic silhouette to the game's advantage. This should have been the box art for God of War 3 with a chaotic background. Yeah, you're not the first one who's thinking that. This is nice because you can see the eruption of Atlantis. Yeah. So a lot of people seem to agree. And it's nice that people agree. This is Definitely A tier for me. It's on the verge of S tier. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I'm putting it in S tier. There's going to be other contenders here fairly soon, but this is the S tier one for. It's a low S, I would say. It deserves it. Honestly, this one is fantastic. It's very good. It's a very high A, very low S, I would say. Are we feeling good with that? Now, I think I forgot one, and I'm going to fetch it real quick. And I have display capture, so I don't want to be showing anything. So I'm going to find it very quickly. Because there is another God of War Ghost of Sparta one. Let me find it in 1 second. Yep, okay. I think it's mid S. Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay, this one. I think this is an actual cover. It's a little confusing. I found another one, but it's like a God of War 3 not fan art, concept art one. And the collection cover, I'm not doing collection covers because they are, oh, there's the Saga one. I can do the Saga one. I forgot about that one. The collection covers are just the two covers together. I think it's not interesting, but I did forget the Saga one. We'll get to that after Ascension, I guess. I'll add it in a minute. Okay, this one, I like it even more than the normal Ghost of Sparta one. This one goes hard. That's what Jamal's saying in the chat. This is very, very, very good. People are saying the angle is weird. I love it. First of all, the arms of Sparta, a new iconic, dare I say, secondary weapon in the Greek saga. Of course, makes me think of Draupnir spear now, but this is what the Draupnir spear was made out. Not out of, but the Draupnir spear is a very obvious reference to this. Looks fantastic. Again, the red on the tattoo. The white and red color scheme generally. Beautiful. Just Kratos all around. It works perfectly. And we have the reflection of Kid Kratos in the puddle, which I believe is what the reveal trailer did for God of War Ghost of Sparta. And obviously, Kratos remembering his childhood and being with Deimos is a massive, massive part of this game. Makes perfect sense. I don't have much else to say. It's very simple. It's different from all the other ones. The angle is different. It doesn't really do much in terms of location, but like Betrayal, honestly, if it's a cool abstract thing, I honestly prefer it more than whatever this is, which is like just nothing. What are people feeling about this? The Kratos of Sparta holding arms of Sparta on the cover of Ghost of Sparta. No way, Sparta. Oh, the strange angle is because of pool of blood. My bad. I don't know if it's supposed to be blood or just a red puddle, but yeah. This is the first easy S tier. Having Spartan weaponry in the game called Ghost of Sparta is nice. The angle is beautiful. Same with the colors and the reflection. This shows what the game's about. Dante, you're on point here. 100%. Actually, very cool. Yo, the reflection is an incredible detail. I don't get why the weapons are like rusty. I wouldn't say they're rusty. I mean, the quality is not the best in here. It's just the shield is very beaten because it's supposed to be Kratos's. I don't know when he started using these, but obviously the last Spartan back then, not the last one, gave it to him, and I suppose he used it a lot in his battles prior. It peak. 2 words, but so much meaning. I think there is no argument that this is the best cover art we got so far. It is worthy to go in the museum, in an art gallery. If I saw this, I would be like, yeah, This is just some legendary painter made this about a Spartan warrior and ancient Greece. It's not like it transcends God of War, I think, in terms of its iconicism. I don't know what the word is, but yeah, God of War Ghost of Sparta winning in terms of cover art so far. This game just a lot, so much about this game is just right. I think a lot of people are loving Ghost of Sparta. There's a lot of fond memories of it, and there's rightful reasons for that. And cover art is a part of it, which is nice. Hello, also mid. Will you do a Fortnite stream if young Kratos comes to the game as a skin for the memes? Do I have to buy? I know nothing about Fortnite, for the record. I don't play live service games. I don't really play many shooters generally. Do I have to pay money to buy Kratos in Fortnite? I might. I was thinking about doing it when the regular old Kratos came out. Regular old Kratos, just Norse Kratos with Mimir. But I don't know. I know it's not. It doesn't do anything except you're just running as Kratos shooting people with a gun. So it's not particularly much. But yeah. I also love how it shows Kratos having Ash to show that he's broken. How he's broken in this cover. I mean, he has Ash in all of these. Yeah, God of War 3 kind of shows Ash quite a lot because it's such a close-up. But yeah. Move the other Ghost of Sparta cover to high A and this one S. Don't rush. I feel like we're gonna move stuff around. Spoiler alert, there are gonna be a few more S tier covers in my opinion, and I think Ghost of Sparta it's okay if it's on the low end of S. Just noticed, I think you skipped one cover art for Chains of Olympus, Kratos looking at the Pillar of the World. I researched that one. I think that one is just a promo photo. It's not an actual cover. I don't think they ever printed it on, had it physically out in stores. I might be wrong about that. If I'm wrong, I can add it, but we'll see. Fortnite is free. I know Fortnite is free, but the skins aren't, right? Because you have like a battle pass, whatever, and I don't know how it works genuinely. I don't know what you're supposed to do to get Kratos. Do you just like log in? I'm assuming you have to pay money for that, right? I know that Fortnite is free. Yeah, you have to buy Kratos. Do not play garbage. I honestly don't want to. Yeah, I know there's a Greek mythology thing and there's Zeus with a gun running around. It's pretty funny. Raid God of War Betrayal. It's on the list right here. It's the cover art for Betrayal is better than God of War 1 and God of War 3. Is this fair? I don't know. I mean, we're goofing around. But, okay. Peak is next, right? Unless you're going to cover a Saga cover. Let's do, okay. By peak, of course, Dante is talking about God of War Ascension. And the truth about what Dante said is that he is right. And God of War Ascension, this is fantastic. This is, again, we're talking about originality. The pose is iconic to God of War Ascension, him hanging from the chains at the start of the game. That pose is synonymous with God of War Ascension. I have to say, I was thinking about this for a while. If anything, God of War Ascension's synergy in terms of art design is, bar none, the amber and the black fury goo thing, the aesthetic that they have throughout the entire game. It's everywhere. It's in the flashback scenes. It's in the main menu. It's even in the quick time event prompts. And this is also a part of it. I love it very much. It's different. It's not just Kratos standing. It reflects what the game is about. The abstract background, again, I prefer to just a generic location that some of the earlier games have done. Let's see. S all day. This one is awesome. Kratos looks like he's about to receive the back shots. Yes, he really did. On God, this is peak. People agree. This one is an S tier, but I think the Ghost of Sparta with the Arms of Sparta is better. I remember getting hyped when I saw this car back in the day. This one is very, very nice. The Fortnite shop rotates skins. Okay, I guess I'm gonna learn how to get Kratos in Fortnite now. The Fortnite shop rotates skins every week. Kratos hasn't come to this since. Yeah, I heard people want Kratos back in Fortnite. I know that. So you can't buy him anymore unless they bring him back for the Greek season this time. Yeah, I understand. The font style of the title is so sexy. Yeah, the Fury gooey thing and the amber aesthetic throughout the whole game. Primo, different pose than the rest, beautiful colors, and most importantly, shows the entire plot of Ascension. It's Kratos being chained by his contract and trying to escape. Peak. Enough said. This one, up there, definitely belongs in the museum. I am putting this, it's an easy S tier. I have to say, I would say that I think the Ghost of Sparta one is just, has the edge for me. The Arms of Sparta and the composition of Ghost of Sparta is one, and the color scheme, the white and red, I just enjoy very much. Ascension is a close second right now, but I would leave Ghost of Sparta at the top right now. Okay. The problem, they're incredible shots on Ascension, so it can be even better. No, I think this is, the pose specifically is pretty much the perfect pose to use for this game. I'm going to do this real quick, and I'm going to fetch the God of War Saga box art because I forgot about it. That one's an original one. And, okay. Big. This is interesting. I didn't really think about this. Okay. Well, what are people saying? Can we get Ascension tier? It's just the symbolism of the Ghost of Sparta is amazing, with the reflection of Kid Kratos and the Arms of Sparta's top tier. Yes, it is. This one. So I think the biggest problem I have with this one is that the Nemean Cestus are the prime focus of this one, and that weapon is exclusive to one game, which kind of defeats the point of having a cover that reflects the entire saga of God of War. Obviously, trying to go for a Ghost of Sparta-ish vibe with this one. With the color scheme and the overall vibe, this is clearly God of War 3 Kratos. We got the I forgot the name, the golden fleece with the blood on it, yeah, and the Blades of Exile handles. I can see that. It's, what are people saying? This should have been God of War 3. I agree with that. Midgard Chronicler. Thank you. This one is okay, but I guess kind of generic. Yeah, they should have just done Blades of Chaos. Yeah, that's what I think too. Just took a B to me. There's in the background. Okay, let's talk about the background. Obviously, plain, which is not bad. The focus is on our protagonist here. There's some lightning going on. There's some Greek ruins in the background. It looks like Olympia a little bit. Maybe I'm imagining it. Nothing offensive, nothing spectacular. This one is, I would say, slightly above mid for me. This one, I'm going to say right now that for me personally, this is a B tier. A lot of B tier ones, but I think that's fair because a lot of God of War covers are honestly not amazing. I think this is better than the God of War 3 cover. Is it better than the God of War 1 cover though? I have to think about that a little bit. I don't think so. I think God of War 1's cover, let's be honest, it is iconic. God of War 1 we kind of put it kind of low, but it's still pretty fantastic. I think this is in the same vein as that, but slightly more boring because I do think that the Olympus background helps God of War 1 and the brutality of the blades. The blades are really striking. The cestus are not they're awesome looking, but obviously they only appear in one game. Doesn't necessarily represent the saga, which is I would argue it's supposed to do. But it's very very inoffensive. I would say it does its job. So it's B tier, slightly above mid. Get it? Get it? Yeah, I get it. Me, I'm mid. Wonder why highlight the Nemean cestus. Now God of War 1 covers gas. Yeah, it's not bad. That's actually the Blades of Athena. I don't think they have ever showed the Blades of Exile in any promo material for God of War 3. I maybe, yeah, I don't. It's hard to tell for me personally. I mean, the Blades of Chaos, I think the handles are more recognizable than Athena or Exile for me. I'm not as big of an expert as someone like Zesty would be, for example. Blade of Olympus would suit better, I think. That's an interesting idea. Yeah, whatever weapon you choose, it's hard to pick one that's relevant to all the games because obviously Kratos doesn't have one through all the games. Like Blades of Chaos are obviously the most iconic, I would argue, even in the Greek era. But Blade of Olympus wasn't part of God of War 1 or Ghost of Sparta or Chains of Olympus. God of War or Blades of Athena and Exile obviously appear in only select games, but so I would argue the Blades would have been better generally because they're so much more iconic. But okay, I think this is yeah. That's the Greek stuff. So let's make a little recap. We're obviously nearing the end here. Just show Kratos double jumping Skyward. Yeah, instant millions of dollars. Okay, so I'm in D tier. We have the European cover for Chains of Olympus. Kratos staring at you, whatever. God of War Chains of Olympus, the normal one, gets a C tier because it's not really anything. B tier, very populated. We have God of War 3. It's, take it, you love it or hate it. That's my opinion. I think I'm kind of indifferent to it. I don't have any strong feelings about it either way. God of War Saga, very inoffensive. God of War 1, legendary in its own right, but somewhat pretty boring, and I would argue not necessarily as indicative of what the games are about. God of War Betrayal, obviously a meme, but I kind of like the vibe, I like the energy, and I like the background with the flame. Very simplistic, but it does its job for a mobile game. God of War 2, obviously kind of copycat of God of War 1, but the environment and the hint of what the game is about put that above to me. The Atlas and the Spire and the Zeus lightning thing puts it above God of War 1 for me. A tier, we have God of War 2, the pose, the blades on fire, the symmetricality of it makes it, I would argue, the most iconic cover in the main trilogy out of the three. I think that one's by far the best and my favorite, obviously. God of War 1's European cover, the most action heavy so far, and I think maybe not evolve. We'll talk about it later. Obviously, showcasing the Greek stuff, showcasing brutality of Kratos, showcasing the hordes of the undead that he's fighting very appropriate. And we have Medusa's head, a key mechanic and the inspiration for David Jaffe to make a Greek mythology game. I mean, obviously not necessarily important for marketing, but it's important to me for sentimental reasons. And are people saying anything? The Ghost of Sparta one is just amazing. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. S tier, we have low S tier, Ghost of Sparta's main cover, the American cover. Beautiful silhouette, different. The pose is just very appropriate, not boring. The red tattoo, highlighting Deimos, and we have the Thera eruption in the background, which obviously, first of all, appropriate to what happens in the game, but also, I would argue, appropriate to what's happening in Kratos' mind in that moment. So, very good. Ascension, beautiful, iconic pose for that game. The amber and the gooey fury stuff, very appropriate to that game. That whole art style looks like, looks like a painting that deserves to be in a museum. And God of War Ghost of Sparta, the European cover, is just outstanding. The arms of Sparta, the white and red, the Kid Kratos in the puddle reflection, everything that makes Ghost of Sparta stand out, everything that makes it great is on showcase here, and it just looks very good. So that is the ranking so far, and now it's time to go north to the Scandinavian plains, because now it's Norse time, and we start with God of War 2018. All right. What do people think about this one? This tier list is back shots on low tier, side shots on mid tier, and front shots on the high tier, with a couple of few exceptions. Yeah, I mean, I want to see the face of my protagonist. It doesn't need. Boo, says Omar. Okay. B. Okay. Let's see a few more opinions. Good, but uninspired. As many more single-player games covers out there from around that time. A to B to me. Honestly, it's a low F, says Omar. Omar's opinion is not valid. B tier, beautiful artistically. S tier for me, because I like that Mimir's on the boat. B behind God of War 1. Wow. Is Dante here? No. What is Dante gonna say? It's just the main character standing there. Very interesting. A, most vibrant. Yeah. Low A tier. Wow. Okay, well, I'm gonna say this tier list, again, completely unrelated to the game's quality and my subjective opinions about the games themselves. That's why Ascension is an S tier. Ooh, the cat's making an appearance if she wants to. Maybe she doesn't. No, never mind. That being said, A tier for me. Sorry, I'm going to finish my thought in a second. I'm going to read the comments. A tier for me has Atreus, the axe, the boat, the mountain, blah, blah, blah. Kratos looks wise and handsome man. Taking Norse Kratos, Atreus, Jormungandr, the boat. You can see the towers. A or S. So much stuff. There's the way to the game itself. Ragnarok, however, is... Okay, we'll get to Ragnarok in a minute. This one, God of War 2018 is my favorite God of War game. My first one. It's my favorite God of War game of all time. Feel free to say whatever you feel about that in the comments. And I do feel like this is my favorite cover. My favorite God of War cover, unrelated to necessarily to the quality of the game itself, is just so beautiful to look at. This is like, remove the logo. This 100% belongs in the museum. The colors are so beautiful. The lighting, like this looks like Kratos looks like it looks hand painted. Obviously, if we're talking about the vibe, how well the game is represented, I think It's represented very well. Obviously, the boat is an iconic aspect of the game. Of course, we have the father and son, like Dante said, the Leviathan X. We got Mimir hiding there. We got a little Brock statue, a little troll statue, which is pretty fun. Of course, we have Jormungandr hints there, the mountain, just the point. We got the towers. I can't see which tower. Yeah, Vanaheim, whatever. The Lake of Nine. We got whatever that is. It just looks. I think the feeling of serenity. I think the God of War 2018 is a very calm game relatively compared to Greek games, obviously, but even compared to Ragnarok, it's a very measured, calm. I would argue a little cold game, and I think this cover reflects that very well. It just looks so good to look at. It's just I understand that my bias is maybe showing a little bit, but it's just so good. It's just so nice. The colors, I love them so much. It just looks right, and I think it does a great job at representing what the game is about. That's my opinion. It can be A for me too. First is the B, maybe an A, I don't know. It's very calm, unlike the chaotic cover arts for the Greek games. Well, that's the thing. The Greek games cover arts are not as chaotic as you think they would be. But for Norse games, for this game specifically, I think that fits much better. I think it represents what the game is much better. It is the calmest God of War game. Actually, I like it now due to you pointing out the details I missed. I appreciate that, Omar. 2018 is what actually made me go play the other games. Same. A. Based opinion, not gonna lie, appreciated. This, I know chat doesn't agree with me necessarily, but this is easily an S tier cover for me. It's just, again, first of all, iconic, beautiful, stands out. Look, it's blue. Everything else is just red and yellow. Obviously, Norse is blue. That's the color of the Norse saga. I just put it here. It's better. This is tough. I would say it's competing. I would put it above Ascension. I'm sorry. I know Ascension is fantastic. Ascension is perfect for what it's trying to say, what it's trying to do. But this one is just. I think it reflects even more what the game is about. Like, Ascension is introspective. It's about Kratos' mind a lot. So is Ghost of Sparta, to be frank. It's about him trying to remember the past. But there's also a lot of chaos. I mean, 2018 has action too. But this one is just... that's why S tier is museum worthy, and that's the 2018 cover is why I came up with it. I look at that and it looks like a painting. It looks like a genuine, which it is. Some artist made that. It's hard for me to shame that it's not a God of War game. Okay, great. Better than the original Ghost of Sparta cover, but that's it. I want to put it. The Ghost of Sparta one is so good as well. I think I would leave Ghost of Sparta at the top for the novelty, for the color scheme, for obviously the composition of a Ghost of Sparta is more interesting. But this one, 2018 is. I think it's special. I genuinely do. All my biases towards the game itself aside. But I think, as a man who really appreciates the vibe of God of War 2018, I think it captures it very well. Wish the Dead Giant was there. Yeah, that would have been cool, but there isn't much space for it, I assume. God of War 2 on A tier. You disappointed me, Midgard Chronic Lair. I'm sorry, but S tier is museum tier. I think God of War 2 is great, but it doesn't deserve to be in the museum. Maybe lame museum. I'm kidding. God of War 2's cover is great. Is there gonna be Valhalla cover? Yes, it will be. Yeah. Okay, moving on. We have this. The God of War 2018 Day 1 edition / the digital deluxe edition, whatever. This one, obviously cool, but that's just concept art. They just took a concept art and they made a cover out of it, which is, you know, I wouldn't say it's lazy, but you can even tell, like, I've seen this image of Kratos yelling on several other concept arts. That's even in the Ragnarok concept art where he's talking to Thor. So it's like, it's not, obviously, it represents the action side of the game pretty well. Atreus' hair doesn't look right. That troll foot, though. This is... they just needed something different for the cover, and I guess they either didn't have time or the budget to do something original, but I just don't. The Kalma's God of War game cover have more action than the rest of the Greek games. Yeah, I mean, if you like the action, it's you gotta hear, but it's just, you can even tell that, like, it wasn't designed for this. Like, Atreus' head is a little cropped off. The composition is a little weird because it's not supposed to be a vertical one. It's not supposed to be. It wasn't designed to be a cover art. A tier. This is also S tier. People are loving this one. I think it's not the accurate vibe of the game. Yeah, I mean, obviously this does not reflect the location where the troll fight happens. You can't break any trees from my memory. I mean, you can break branches, but this is good. I wouldn't say it's my feeling towards this is not low. It obviously looks beautiful, but it's. Where do I put this? Is it better than the European God of War 2? Where do I go with this? I just don't. It looks good, but at the same time, I just kind of don't care about it. It's just, this one is so iconic to me. This one does such a great job, and this one just doesn't. It's not it, you know? People are saying it's better than God of War 2. That's what I'm asking. Like, are people asking, is this better than God of War 2, this one? I think God of War 2 is just so iconic in its composition. This one is just kind of... It's a cool angle, I have to say, like a low angle, a wide lens. It's a different feel for a God of War cover. Low A, sure. I think that's... Yeah, I think I feel comfortable with that one. I mean, it has more action. It's more interesting to look at than the God of War 2 cover, but the God of War 2 cover, I think, is iconic in its simplicity and in its... So, I don't know. That's how I feel about it. No, not better than God of War 2. Yeah, that's. I think I'm gonna leave it here. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be upset on how much higher this one is than the God of War 1 and the God of War 3 covers and the European God of War 2 cover, but whatever. Okay, we're nearing the end here, but we have Ragnarok. I remember very well the day this dropped, when the release trailer dropped. That was... the day I decided I want a God of War YouTube channel. But that is kind of besides the point. The point is, when I saw this cover, I was pretty disappointed. Because it's a similar vibe to God of War 2018, kind of, but it just looks worse. God of War 2018 looks like a painting. The colors are so stunning, the contrast on the Kratos' face. It just looks like hand painted. This is just kind of the renders of our protagonist. Obviously, it's cool to see older Atreus. They're kind of standing as equals, obviously representing the fact that potentially representing the fact that they're both playable. The environment. Eric said that they're standing in the exact same spot as they did in 2018, but reversed. So it's the same point on the lake, but they kind of reversed it. But that kind of doesn't do very much for me. It's pretty generic, honestly. The background, the lightning is cool. The Odin's Ravens are a great addition. We have the Jormungandr scales under the ice, which is in the game, but it doesn't play as big of a role. Tyr's statue is broken. The ice, of course, but it's Fimbulwinter. It's hard to pick what a better background would be for Ragnarok without spoilers. Obviously, Ragnarok itself, the battle would be appropriate, but you can't spoil stuff like that in the cover, obviously. This is, I would say it's appropriate, but it's nothing outstanding to me at all, honestly. I think it's kind of a downgrade compared to 2018. What are people saying? It's like a copy from 2018. It's This is the aftermath of Thor 1. I mean, yes. This is like what it looks like when you go out in the Midgard. Whatever. Hey, it's 2018, but colder this time. Sure. That is what that is. Betrayal. You're good. Okay. D tier for disappointment. It's not that bad, obviously. This isn't the accurate one, to be fair. There's no lighting. Okay. I see the lightning. Yeah, the lightning is there. But that's not the lightning. That's not the lightning that Kratos and Thor cause. It's just, I think, a generic lightning that's supposed to represent Thor as a primary antagonist in the game, and obviously Hugin and Munin are there too to represent Odin. It looks worse, lacks the rich details of 2018's little lightning stroke, but that's it. Next to Chains of Olympus for me. I don't think it's as bad as Chains of Olympus. But yeah, you're always on point, honestly, with your details. The statue head is cool, but unfortunately it's kind of cut off there. The Realm Towers look sexy. I think the Realm Towers in 2018 look sexier. Personally, D for disappointing, I already read. Krayt with the cape here looks great. He does look great, to the point where people are kind of upset that we didn't have it in the game, and they released it in New Game Plus. So I think that kind of gives a little bit of a bonus to this cover, I suppose. He doesn't hit as hard as God Over 2018. No, it does not. Can be B, just because of the background show a lot. Garbage, sadly, overall. Black Ape is cool. Yes, it is. I hate how lazy Ragnarok is. Almost the same pose as Kratos from 2018. It's supposed to be a reflection, obviously, two sides of a duology, but I don't think that it's as exciting. Obviously, this cover doesn't show everything because the sleigh, the wolf sleigh, is off on the side in the... Is my connection fine? Sorry, I should yes, it is. Okay. It doesn't... The sleigh is off on the side and you can't see it on the cover, so I'm not counting it. Pretty boring. Lower than mid. Okay, where do we put this? I'm putting this in B tier. Is it better than than God of War 3? Yes, I think it's slightly more exciting. Obviously, two characters standing is, Is it better than God of War Saga? I think it is. Is it better than God of War 1? I would probably put it below God of War 1 here. I think God of War 1, it's slightly more exciting because of the blades. The blades strike so much in God of War 1, and the Kratos pose. The God of War 1 was really all about Kratos. He takes up the most space out of, well, actually, well, God of War 3, Kratos takes up the most space because he's the entire cover, but I think the iconicness of God of War 1, I think it puts it above Ragnarok for me. I feel like they couldn't show that much because they don't want to spoil anything. Imagine the cover art had the spear that would ruin the surprise. How is this worse than Betrayal? Because Betrayal is more exciting because Kratos is running like this. Betrayal top 6 games W3. It's true. It's I will take no further comments. All right. The reason why God of War Ragnarok's cover is so disappointing to me, in part, is because of this. This is obviously the digital deluxe edition. I believe it's also the day one the edition. Look at this. Look at this. This is beautiful. Look at that. I love this so much. The reason I think what God of War Ragnarok's cover needed is the sleigh. Because God of War 2018 has the boat. What is the equivalent of the boat in God of War Ragnarok? Obviously, we have a lot of transportation methods, but if we're talking about Fimbulwinter, Midgard, the sleigh is, I would argue, is what it needed to kind of give it more action, give it more, explorability factor on the cover. And this does that, but not only that, obviously, it's the opening of the game. Freya, the composition is wonderful. This is probably the most action-heavy cover we have so far. It beats, in terms of action, the God of War 1 cover. I saw that and I'm like, I so wish this was the main cover. It's obviously reflects a very specific moment in the game, but the thing about it is it looks like 2018 in terms of artfulness, because it looks painted like the 2018 cover. Ragnarok's main cover looks just like the render from the game. This looks more like a painting. It looks more in style with 2018. What are people saying? This is rigged. Is Esty gonna be mad when he sees this game getting disrespected like that? Now, yeah, this is boring. The black cape hits now. The black cape is there. Why does Freya look like the Forspoken logo? I don't know the Forspoken logo. Oh, I remember it's the lead. Yeah, okay. This is more action-oriented, fitting for a game about Ragnarok, and it shows the mean of transport, equivalent of the boat, and Freya being there baits the hype. 2018 build. Yes, this is very true. This is, we talked about God of War 3, the baiting. Obviously, God of War 2 had a big cliffhanger, which I think a cover art for God of War 3 could exploit. Ragnarok exploits the hype built by 2018 and Freya's revenge wish. That's gas. I prefer that cover to the one we got in the end, 100%. Much better, but the art style in question is not my favorite. I honestly... okay. And even this one look like a painting. Yes. Nah, this hits too hard, captures the tension that the last game delivered. In an ideal world, I think a perfect cover for Ragnarok would have a combination of these two. I think show the Lake of Nine and how it's been affected by Fimbulwinter, get the lightning in there for Thor, get the Odin's ravens there, but show... I wouldn't say show the fight with Freya, but show them rushing on the sled. So it gives it a little more action on the cover, Obviously, God of War 2018 is very serene and it looks like the boat is standing. But if we see like the sleigh moving fast and the Kratos and Atreus are looking determined, worried, whatever, I think it would have been more exciting as an image, and I think would have been slightly more reflective of what Ragnarok's urgency is supposed to reflect. I think this just generally looks more aesthetically pleasing, obviously much more exciting. Mimir is Mimir is there with the lighting, like lit up eyes, just like he does in the 2018 cover. Obviously, Ragnarok's cover does have Mimir, but it's I I don't want to. Okay, where is he? I can't. Yeah, he's kind of hard to see, but he's there. Um, I don't want to start conspiracy theories, but my it almost feels like this cover was supposed to be the main cover for Ragnarok before they changed it. Um, I'm putting this in. I'm putting this in S tier. I love it very much. It's, it doesn't reflect the game itself as much as other games necessarily, but I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put it above Ghost of Sparta. I think it's just the action. I think the action helps a lot. I think the action is important for a God of War game, and I think it belongs there. That's my take. If regular cover or digital deluxe had Kratos battling Thor, it would go so hard. It would. That is true. But I don't know how much they wanted to show. I think they were very, very, very secretive about everything in Ragnarok. And they didn't want anything to leak. They didn't want anything to suggest anything. Can be low S. It is. Doesn't reflect the game as a whole, but captured one of the motifs. Yeah, I like the action a lot. And as a nice little epilogue to this, we have the epilogue to Ragnarok, which is Valhalla. Okay. Let's talk about Valhalla for a minute. Obviously, the first things first, the most important thing is it's an homage to God of War 2. Gives it points, for sure. Location. Not many locations to talk of. It's either the Greek stuff or it's this, which I think is the most appropriate one. It's definitely an iconic location for Valhalla as a whole. We got the door opened. Mimir is there as always. This is not a painting sort of thing. Mimir, it just looks like a regular render, but I think it's allowed. This is not on physical discs at all. It's just for a digital thing. Looks photoshopped. It is. All the covers are photoshopped, but I understand what you're saying in terms of like I think he looks in place. I think the light from the door. The lighting looks right. Obviously, the blades are out, which reflects the Greek aspect. Looks like a fan-made in photo mode. Oh, open the door! I can't. I've been speaking so much, my voice is a little tired, but this is a backshot Midgard. You know where to put it. I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. If only the blaze had fire. That is not a bad point. I just put it for the giggles. I don't really think it's supposed to be as much. I don't think it deserves the pressure other cover arts have, because it's not supposed to sell the DLC as much. It's a free DLC and it's not on the shelves at physical stores, so cover the back shot. Yeah, I would say it's very whatever. It's I love how much further God of War Betrayal is than it. It's better than God of War Chains of Olympus for sure, but it's nothing. Is it better than God of War 3 though? Is it better than God of War 3? I don't know. I don't. It's this one is. It's not offensive. I would say it's mid. You know, it's not. It's not. People are upset at the C. Yeah, I don't. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not agreeing with the C either. Honestly, it's a. I think it's a B cover. It's not. It's not anything. Betrayal topping 7 gets best stream. Just wow. Okay. Resurrection Chamber. Wait, I'm not. I have to think about this. It's hard. It's backshot. Is it better than Ragnarok? It's not better than God of War 1. This is. I mean, it reflects pretty well. I mean, hmm. At least it's better context than God of War 3. Put it above God of War 3 for Zesty to be mad. Uh, I think Zesty is a mature enough man to know the God of War 3 cover could be better and more interesting. I know you're gonna watch this. I don't see the art in this art box. God of War 3 is maybe boring, but it's beautiful. It's not an art box, though. There is no box in this, because you can't buy God of War Ragnarok Valhalla in a box. I mean, I guess it's still a cover, and I guess Betrayal gets the same treatment. Mm. You know what I'm gonna do? I think. Oh no 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 no! I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put it enough above Ragnarok. You know why? Because I think it does a very good job at reflecting what the game is about. It's not a particularly exciting cover, but neither is God of War 2's. But God of War 2 is, first of all, iconic in terms of composition, and the location, I think, is pretty good. The location here is the best they could have picked, obviously. Valhalla's entrance makes a lot of sense. Obviously, the Valkyrie looking over him. Master thyself, that's where the, you can't see it because of the title, but the Master Thyself text is there, which is what the game is about. The light coming onto Kratos, the enlightenment, if you will, of him coming through things, going through things. I think God of War Ragnarok's cover is a disappointment compared to God of War 2018. It's pretty bland in that regard, even though it shows a few things about the game. God of War Valhalla has much less, but because of that, the cover can reflect a lot of things about what the game is about. And the game is about Valhalla. It's about Kratos' mind, which the door reflects, and it's about being an homage to the Greek games, or the Greek stuff is there, which is the God of War 2 pose. So fair and square, you say. I know it's a free DLC, but Betrayal got judged fair and square, so even though it's a mobile game. Yeah, I'm judging. It's God of War Betrayal. That's funny. Is the only cover that's in-game photo, because it's a DLC, of course. I think Ragnarok is an in-game. Valhalla is not an in-game photo. You can't have this pose, but it's an in-game render of Kratos and Mimir. So is Ragnarok. 2018, and the deluxe edition, they're paintings. Imagine have that notification pop up. What are you talking about? Oh, that notification. Oh, it is what it is. don't tell anyone, please. So don't this is the tier list. What can I say? I mean, there's very B heavy, obviously, but I think a lot of covers in God of War are fine. Some are pretty great. Some are legendary. And a couple are boring. So, no D? There's a D. Chains of Olympus. Can you see it? Yeah. Okay. And I don't know what else to say. That's the cover art tier list. If you're watching after the fact for some reason, let me know what you think. I tried to explain as best I could why I picked things the way I did. Uh, Is there something I would move? Should I put Betrayal in S tier? Probably I should. But I think yeah, and it's interesting because actually God of War 1 ended up on the lower end of things, which is, and Betrayal's above it, which is pretty hilarious. But let's see. Just consider putting some background music, non-copyrighted. Yeah, I did want to put some, Ragnarok background music, which it's not copyrighted, fortunately, but I didn't have time. So I will do it for the next stream. I'm sorry that it's just me talking the whole time. You can put background music, on your own if you want. But yeah, this is definitely something I want to try in the future. Next are remasters or remakes. Hopefully, I hope that, it's interesting. Will they copy it? Or if it's a collection of some sort, will they have a Saga-like cover where it's just Kratos, the Greek Kratos, and it says all the games? I don't know. Maybe it's gonna be. Normally the remakes, do they have the same cover but just upgraded? I don't remember. I don't think so. I can't think of any right now. I don't remember cover arts for remakes. I don't think they are. Mid lasagna. Zesty is gonna make a diss track on Mid tomorrow. We'll see. I don't know where Zesty stands in God of War 3's cover, honestly. I don't think he's ever talked about it. Obviously, I'm sure he would have very strong nostalgic feelings towards it, but I don't know whether he thinks this reflects the game as well as it could. S are the best. Choose you do mid? What? What if the remake the trilogy a single big game? That's what most people think. It would make sense. There's three smaller games, but I don't know. There's a lot of rumors about it. There's a lot of speculation about what they're gonna be, about what they are gonna, when they're gonna unveil it, when they're gonna release it. Obviously, it's God of War's 20th anniversary in a year, 20 years. So people are thinking that they will do that. They'll release the remakes for that, but we'll see. I'm gonna send Zesty this tier list without context so he'd think it's about the game's rating. No, Zesty saw my post on Twitter. He already knows what this is about. I'm sorry, Dante. Are you gonna do a tier list of the trailers? There are a lot of trailers, and it's gonna take a while. I know what I want to do next week. It's gonna be pretty good. It's gonna take a lot of work to gather all the images together. Should I reveal it for the people watching right now? Maybe main themes tier list. Oh, now that's interesting. I like that. Fortnite is doing Greek mythology this season, hoping to bring OG Kratos to the game. Yeah, I've seen people want that. Main themes, definitely an idea that I like. All right, I'm revealing it. There's 30 viewers here. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm gonna say it right now. Next week, if I do it, I'm doing a smash or pass. I'm gonna get all the characters in the Photoshop file, and we're gonna smash or pass them. Obviously, only adults, but look forward to that. I'm sure it's gonna be a very fun, exciting stream, and it's gonna be spicy. But yeah. Yeah, I'm doing it. Sleepy killer. Just notice the Shrek drip. Yeah, you know what's going on. You know what's going on. You know, for a man called Mid, you have great taste. I appreciate that, Dante. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you discussing this very important stuff with me. And thank you to the 30 people who tuned in. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I've been talking for almost 2 hours. A job has been done. And the noise hit hard. Oh, we're going to talk about all of it. And my brain is fried to the point where I don't even know what to say, which I think means that I am about to end the stream. I appreciate you guys very much for coming in, for sharing your opinions. Very civilized conversation. And I'm hoping people get mad in the comments if things work out. See you next week. I'm sure it's going to be exciting. Good to be back. Nothing in the... I have a video that I want to edit from a while back, but I want to hang on to it so the algorithm remembers me. So I got a few video ideas in the works. Not sure, obviously, never gonna have a deadline because I'm the worst person about that. And I'm definitely yapping way too long at this point. This is the longest outro. Too far gone? Am I too far gone to say? Gonna make it through the day? No. All right. Bye. I'll see you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Love you guys.